Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumsaword.com. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year as well. I'm back here behind the drums, plenty more lessons to do in the future. Today I want to do a big free lesson for you all, a full song lesson as requested over on my Facebook page. The song is In the Shadows by the Rasmus, drummed by Aki Hakala. I'm really sure I'm screwing up that name. I've got 3 pages, the full song for you in PDF drum notation, which you can download from my website for free. You find a link to these 3 pages beneath this video. So have these 3 pages printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It's going to make things a lot clearer and a lot easier for you to understand. And if you want to make your own song suggestions, then you can go over to my Facebook page. That's the best place to do it. You'll see a post where I'm asking for some suggestions. You then write your suggestions in the comments below. Then other people get to vote on them by liking them. And the more popular songs, or the most popular songs, get chosen for future lessons, like this one was today. So, 106 BPM, and I've written here at the top of the chart, intro, offbeat stabs start on the and of beat 1. So when you first listen to this song, you hear that high-pitched note coming in, dee, 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 because of the way your ears are probably trained, you're probably hearing that as the downbeat. I certainly did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the trick is not to feel it as the downbeat because it's actually on the ands of each beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Those beeps, those high-pitched notes are on the ands of each beat. And what I've written here at the top there, the first one you hear on the recording starts on the and of beat 1. So just after beat 1, 1 and 2 and, so you're counting 1 and 2 and, so I'm clicking there the high-pitched notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's the third bar then that the guitar comes in. I've written here, note guitar enters beat 1. So actually if you still can't hear it, just ignore those high-pitched notes and listen to the guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. That guitar is on the downbeat, so it's a cool effect. It might throw your ears a little bit. I like that kind of stuff. But just know that on beat 3, the guitar comes in on beat 1, and those upbeat notes are on the ands of each beat. We then get 4 bars of the guitar intro, so that first line is actually 6 bars long, including the beeps at the beginning. And then we go into our first section, our first drum beat. Now, on the recording, you're hearing these offbeat China effects. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. He's playing snare drum on beats 2 and 4. The bass drum's playing all 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But when you see him play it live, he actually plays the downbeats on the ride cymbal. So he's actually playing when he plays it live, and I'm presuming that's the way he played it on the recording, but you can't really hear the ride cymbal notes because there's a shaker effect being added over the top. But this makes sense to me. He's playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just 8th notes, but you're just playing the ands up here on the crash cymbal, and that's surprisingly difficult to maintain. You've got to really feel the ands up there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how I sort of got through it. So put it all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The final thing that Aki does with these drum beats is he plays an extra snare drum on the E of beat 3. So in between the ride and the crash cymbal, 3 E ands, 3 E ands, 4 ands. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 ands. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 ands. So if you get it comfortable, get into muscle memory, that should flow quite nicely for you. You don't really have to think about it too much. But it's quite advanced, it's quite intermediate level advanced. So when the bar starts, the line starts, we get this crash cymbal on beat 1 as well. So I'm going to be playing these crash cymbals on beat 1 with my left hand. So we get 1 and 2. On the chart I've actually written 1 and. If you want to sort of help yourself and not get too confused with the left hand, then just play the extra crash cymbal with your right hand. 1 and 2 and. But notice it's 1 and at the beginning, so just be aware of that. You're playing an extra crash after that. But once I start looping the 2 bars, because he plays a crash cymbal on beat 1 every 2 bars, I play it with my left hand at the same time as the right cymbal, so my right hand isn't changing. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. There's beat one of the next group of 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But you could play just 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just play all the notes on the crash cymbal, and 1 and if you wanted to. It's up to you. You could also just leave out those extra crash cymbals. No one's really going to miss them. That ride is washing away, and so, you know, but he does put on the recording and live, every 2 bars is a crash on beat 1. So there's our basic drum beat. That's probably the hardest part of the song, that main groove. You could just play, final point, you could just play all the ands instead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. I think that sounds more like the recording. So if you wanted to do that instead, you could. So then we go into verse 1, and it starts with just the hi-hat. Well, I've written here in brackets, closed hi-hat. So after that last crash on the and a beat 4 from the bar previous, we go straight to the closed hi-hat. No crash cymbal, nice, quiet, subtle intro to the verse. And we're just playing 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and at the end of each bar, he opens the hi-hat on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The 4th bar, he does 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. From the and a beat 2, we get the ands opening on each of those beats. And 3 and 4 and 1. Then those 4 bars repeat with just the open hi-hat at the end of each bar. But the 4th bar, that second line, we get this drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3. So up to that point it's fine, same as the bar above it. But then we get and 4. So the open hi-hat with the 2 snare drums. And 4 closes with the snare drum, and then and a 1 into the next line, right, left, into the hi-hat, not the crash, notice. There's no crash ending that drum fill. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. And I'll play us up to speed for you in a moment, so don't worry. We then go into the 3rd line, where that 4th bar, four bars are repeated with the extra hi-hat openings at the end of that line. Then the 4th bar, we get, same thing again, but we get this repeating stab section at the end of the verse, where the hi-hat's just closed. We play 1, then flam on snare drum, 1 and, the bass drum is still playing on beat 2, 1 and 2, but straight afterwards up to the high tom, 2E, 2E, so a flam here on the high tom, 2E and then it ends with the floor and bass drum 3 on beat 3, 3 and 4 and 4 is rested, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E 3 4 1 da da da. You don't have to count it. You can sort of hear the melody dum ba da da. But if you want to count it, 1 and 2 E and a 3, 1 and 2 E and a 3. So those last 2 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and we're into our first chorus. Before we do that, let me just play for you from the 2nd line of the intro and then all the way through all 4 lines of verse 1 up to speed so you can hear what the drums sound like without me yakking on over the top. Here we go. So chorus 1 is the same as our intro. It's really just the bridge section but played with the chorus. So we got this again. 1 and 2 and 50 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 50 and 4 and 1 and every 2 bars the extra crash cymbal on beat 1. 2nd line is the same thing, but the 4th bar we get this drum fill. 1 and I've written it as the right hand, but I'll play it with my left. 1 and 2 E and. So we get, bass drum still playing on 1, 2, 3, 4, but from beat 2 we get this rhythm repeated 3 times. 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. Open hi-hat on each of the ands, close it with the bass drum on the next downbeat. 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and 1. So we get 1 and 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 1 and 2 ands into our next section. Let's loop those last 2 bars a couple of times. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. One more time. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4. Then into bridge 1, and I'll play up to speed without the microphone on in a second. Bridge 1 is just 4 bars of the groove, the offbeat groove, but it ends on beat 4 with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just simply beat 4 and the ride cymbal together on 4, and the rest of that beat is then rested out. So let me now play for you the whole of chorus 1 and the whole of bridge 1 up to speed. Here we go. So on to page 2, and the verse, after that just ride cymbal, snare drum and bass. For verse 2 it starts with just 3 beats of rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And Aki comes back in with the open hi-hat on the and of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The rest of that line is played out as we would for the previous verses. Line 2 is exactly the same as previous verse with the and 4 and the drum fill again. And then straight to line 4, exactly the same, 1 and to E, 3, 4. Then we're into chorus 2, same structure, so let's go straight to the last bar where we get 1 and 2 ands, fine. But then from beat 3, ride cymbal, 3 E and Now the of beat 3 there is written in brackets. That's a quiet ghost note, so you can hardly hear it on the recording, but it is there. If you want to leave out that ghost note, because you do have to play it quietly, otherwise it doesn't sound like the drum fill Aki plays, then you can leave out that note and just play 3 E ands, 3 E ands, and then coming on beat 4. But if you listen carefully, you can hear 3 E and 3 E and that left hand is just a ghost note. Then he plays up the high tom 4 E ands, but it's actually 4 E and That left hand, you'll play a hi-hat over here, 4 E and 4 E and 1, 4 E and 1. So a little quick open hi-hat there at the end of that bar on the of beat 4. So that's quite a tricky drum fill with the ghost notes and stuff. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Good fun to play though. You could just play, if you wanted to, just take out some of those harder notes. Then we go into bridge 2, same structure as our verse with the 4 bars. Then the second line, that third bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The open hi-hat on beat 4 this time, on beat 4. 4 stays open. Then we get this classic fuddle-a-dump drum fill that so many drummers use. It's right, left, right, bass drum. Starting on the and of beat 4, it's quite fast. And 1, and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And 1. Make sure that bass drum lands on beat 1. That'll keep you in time with the song. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that closes with the hi-hat. The hi-hat closes with the bass drum on beat 1. Then we get the old classic 1 and to E3. But notice there's no bass drums that time. 1 and to E3. ends on beat 3 as we had previously. Beat 4 is rested, but then notice that last bar is just a bar of 2/4. They extend that break a little bit longer by 2 beats. So we get 1 and to E, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 into back to beat 1 for chorus 3. So those last few bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and to E, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and to E, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. So let me play for you the second line of chorus 2 so we get that cool drum fill at the end, and then the whole of bridge 2 so we get that other cool drum fill at the end. Up to speed, here we go. So for chorus 3, same structure, gone over this. So let's go straight to that last bar of the page, which is the coolest drum fill in the song. And it requires some fast single strokes. What Aki plays is 1, and we're playing 6 triplet. This is quite hard to count and quite hard to explain. There are 6 triplet notes in each of the beats. 1 to the antita, 2 to the antita, 3 to the antita, 4 to the antita. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But what Aki does, he doesn't play all of the notes on the snare drum. He skips over that first snare drum note with the left hands. So instead of playing, he plays that nod of the head. There was the note that was missing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you sort of speed it up, you sort of start to get it. What we've got to make sure is that crash is beat 1, 2, 3 and 4 of the bar. That keeps you in time. So we get, and it's impossible to count it up to speed. I can't count that fast with my mouth. So we just get that 3 times. So I'm playing right, starting those 4 notes on the snare drum with the right hands. Three times. The 4th time, he moves to the floor tom. Now, when I first heard this song, I thought it might have been the double bass drum he was using. But he hasn't got a double bass drum pedal, so it couldn't have been. I did double check that. Pretty sure he hasn't. And you will see him play it live. He plays it on the floor tom. It does sound like a double bass drum though. So you could play. I'm not very good with double bass drum. Make it sound even. So that's what I thought he was playing, but actually it's... Oh, sorry. That's what he's actually playing. So we get the last 2 bars there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then we're into the next line. So let me play just that second line of chorus 3 for you up to speed. So the last page, page 3, chorus 3 continued. We continue with our 2-bar groove. The second line, the 4th bar ends with 1 and 2 E and. So very similar to the previous drum fill we've had earlier in the song. 1 and 2 E and. But instead of playing 3 E and 4 E and, he plays 2 E and 3. Could be 2 toms together. Might just be, I've written it's just the 1 floor tom. It could be, it's hard to tell. If you want to play 2, fine. I think he just plays 1. So we get 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Beat 4 is rested out. Last line, the outro. Back to our 2-bar groove. But notice the last 2 bars we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. He plays 3 and 4 and 1. Extra bass drum notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4. Actually, it's an extra snare drum and crash on beat 4 as well. And 4 and then 8 bass drum on its own and 1. And the song ends that way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That was it. So let me now play for you those last 2 lines, chorus 3 continued, and then the outro to the end of the song. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. Don't forget to download the free PDF that came with this lesson, all 3 pages of the song for you. And then while you're at my website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for $97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. That's coming up to almost 500 full song lessons now. Pretty sure it's 500, it was 400, I can't remember, but it's coming up to the next 100 mark. Plenty, hundreds of full song lessons on the website already. Just like this lesson, I teach you the song from start to finish. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 500 song lessons. Anyway, as a thank you for signing up, I give you access to hundreds more videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous beats, fills, and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members, and I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, doodle pip and happy drumming to you.